The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everybody, welcome to the weekly Noyantis Usergroup Meeting. Today's the 5th of March 2018. As always, myself and John are here. Any questions or queries or problems or ideas and so on, please feel free to raise your hand and we'll open the mics and so on. Apologies for the lack of webinar last week. We had broadband issues. Hopefully, don't want to tempt fate, but touch wood, we've got them sorted, or at least we are in better shape. So I should remain here for the duration of the webinar. It's behaved itself since quite a bit of work last week, so we shall see how it goes. Okay. While we're waiting for questions and other attendees to arrive, do basically a quick update on where we're up to. So I've been promising you some updates. The first of the updates had to be the Chillcat wrapper, if anyone remembers that. Remembers me saying that, sorry. So basically that's now released. I've not updated the website. I will put a posting on there afterwards, but 105 is now available for download, and it's got quite a few new toys in it. It's worth me actually covering some of this with you now, if that's okay with yourselves. So just let me open up some of the history so I can see on the other screen here. The example app has been updated as well. So in this new build, the 105, you've got basically the REST class has had quite a bit of work done to it. So that's got some new methods in there for setting your basic authentication and reading response headers, reading response header asynchronous, read response to setup builder, to a string builder object. And basically, we might actually discuss this in more detail shortly, but what that enables you to do is there's built-in methods to be able to basically do a full request, and I think the REST class has a few methods in there to do full request nobody or full request string builder, where you pass it two objects, a request and a response and so on. But there can be times where you want to basically investigate the raw response and so on and so forth. So that's what I do in some of my methods, and that's what the new methods are there for. So read response header will help in things like that. The more classes, base classes, have now been completed. So for those who are wondering on the base classes, if we just go through some of these, won't go through one at a time, don't worry. But basically, you now have the date and time class is now there, fully populated. The FTP2 class has been, if we jump along, I think we jumped too far on this one. The FTP2 class has been fully populated and released. The SFTP, so we just jump forward a little further, is literally in conversion now. So that will follow very shortly, but the two SFTP support classes, the directory and the file, are now both fully done and released in 105, and the XML class is now fully done as well. So we're starting to work our way through them. The OAuth2, actually it's not on the release notes, but the OAuth2 class has also had extra work done to it as well. So quite a lot of work on that. And then to go with those, the task classes. In this release, you've got the SMS class, and you've got a new QuickBooks class. Now we're going to be doing I believe it's not this Friday coming, it's the Friday after, is it not, John? Where we're doing, is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Cool. So we'll be covering that in more detail basically on a Friday webinar. But let's just see some of that's just a reminder. Don't ignore that license. That's just remind me of the example that I've got the license built in. So basically, you've got some examples. The FTP2 example isn't there, actually. I still need to add that. But the date and time, there's a date and time example. So you can get Unix date time, OLE date time, timestamp from the OS, and you can say whether it's local or UTC. So we can get that. And there's some nice little functions to say, okay, grab a timestamp, add days or hours, add minutes to it. The reason that's there is it does get called and used within some of the other classes which we use. For example, the FTP, that makes use of the date and time class. So it makes sense that where we see quite a lot of basically reuse of the classes being used by each other, it makes sense that we start covering them in that order as well. So yes, that's why that's been done. And the JSON and XML examples have also been enhanced. So we can load an example. I think there's a question on this which we've covered in the past, and I think it was actually David who's online now, to do with setting it. Just open the mic. Sorry to put you on the spot, David. Hi, David.
See here.
Hi, David. No, thought we could hear you then, actually.
Hey, Andy.
Hi, yes.
I had to turn my speakers on there, my mic on.
Well, basically, yes, it was the getting the content into the basically into the string builder object,
right, yeah.
or the JSON and so on, and it wouldn't load correctly, and that's because it wanted to be basically double quoted, if you will. Now, there was a discussion with one of the other users who said, "Oh, I'll create you a double quote function." But one thing we'd forgot, and it was only when I came to do it, was let me just bring the common class in, and we have got a built-in function called expand special characters, which will do just that. Basically, you can pass it a string and it will expand out. Now you can see there it's just doing double quotes. It should really pad other ones as well, actually. But what you could do if you was doing a JSON load would be to call the load, but with a expand special characters rather than your string. So wrap your string in a function call to that, and then it would load correctly. So I've been using that myself.
Okay.
So let me just open the JSON. Oh, sorry, 1 second. Okay. There's so many of these base classes now. Right, where are we? JSON object. So, for example, where you can just pass it a string, what you could do is wrap that in an extra call to the expand special characters. The other alternative, which I think I'm going to add, is going to be a second option onto here, where it will automatically do the call for you, so you don't have to worry about it.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So that breaks away from basically at the moment our methods are literally one-to-one to the virtually one-to-one to the Chilcat methods. On this, we will actually break away just a tiny bit, but I think it's worth it. So that's what we might do.
That might make it easier to put a parameter on there, because otherwise it's going to be hard to remember.
That's right. So if we just put an optional parameter, which will be basically I don't know what it'll be. It won't be expand, but I'll think of something.
Yeah.
So, and just while we're on both the XML and the JSON, this has been basically built up. So you could, if you wanted, just say, okay, I want A to be 1 and B to be 2, and so on and so forth, and get me the value of A, and it shall go back and get you that, and so on. and it's basically trying to pad out the example to show you some of the notation. So basically, if we wanted to add another bit to the account, it would be account dot example, and we'll call it Noyantis. So we're going to do account dot example. We expect it to appear under here, and I'd expect it to go to the end because it's an append. What's that time belong to? Maybe the time belongs to something. Oh, I'd have to have a look at what I've actually called, to be honest with you on that. I think I've just done append rather than update string. Yes, sorry, that's my own fault. So yes, that is correct. That's how you would expect it. So that's been padded out to show you those examples. To go hand in hand with that, we've done the same with the XML. So this is an example which, John, I think you were trying to do similar. Well, this was your example from last week. The only extra, I don't know if you're using, is the set tag to set the top tag. But basically, this shows you very similar to the JSON, except rather than dot notation, there's this pipe. So, for example, if we wanted to add, we can see within here, let's add another one. So we'll say it's sequence number 3. So it would be along the lines of, let me just copy that in. Requested package line items, which you can see there. We've got it's 0 base, so it would be 2, which would be the third one. We'll say sequence number, and we want it to be 3. So now it's built you another element to the tree view, another child, and there it is, put it in for you.
Okay.
So, and that was just a one-off line. That's just literally a new child. So yes, basically, it's just showing you the difference between the JSON, which is dot notation, to this one, which is, as you can see, well, it's a pipe notation. Okay, and
I wonder why they switched that there to the, because that's shellcat's kind of.
Yeah, path. Don't know, because I presume it's the main guy at Shellcat is Matt. It's been really good help, especially on the QuickBooks. Very good help. For your QuickBooks, I've got some keys here, but you can't see all of them for reasons for the example. But basically, if I was to change to localhost here, and let me just get some keys. Does anybody here, a quick show of hands, use the QuickBooks interface?
Not yet.
No? Okay. Hopefully it will be something that will be of interest to people. Okay, so I'm just going to basically, on the other screen, but I don't want to divulge it, just get in some keys, which we will be required to use. I'll paste them in. Again, you can't see all of them, but that's by design. And we will say, okay, we want to connect to that. So sorry about that. Typed in local rather than local host. It's supposed to be local host, so I have to just wait for it to time out. I think for the example, I might want to fine tune that timeout a little. So yeah, so now, what have I missed out? Evidently I've missed something. I'm just not sure what. It must be one of the keys that I'm using. But basically, on the it starts a browser session for me to log in. But I'm going to come off this now, but basically this we're showing it a week Friday, but showing all the actual the bells and whistles, if you will, of getting all the getting your details and updating your details in your remote session, in your remote QuickBooks, and so on. And we'll probably cover a bit more on other APIs as well, because the major work what's gone on behind the scenes on this is all the OAuth 2, and which is really good, because now I'm going to enhance the Google interface to not just use a service account, but also prompt for the OAuth 2, along with all the others that you would expect. So, because this has been working, really, really neat with it. So that is the major update to the Chillcat template. There will be an update to Property Grid. We just need to release it. Very much doubt it'll be this afternoon, but it was basically just some additional methods, which again through user feedback somebody had requested, and it was to do the drop-down choices. So now you've got options in there, methods in there to add drop-down items. To basically a drop item in the Property Grid. You've got new methods to be able to delete one of the options out of that list, or to empty the list completely and then allow you to start rebuilding it. So that is done, and it will be released. It'll probably be in the morning now in the UK time. That's it. The report control update unfortunately hasn't made it out yet. Where are we up to on that? We'll just open up my notes on the other window. Won't be a second. Oh, wrong one. Right, yeah. No, we're still, basically they're still ongoing, and they basically it was the detecting of the block moving and so on, but we had to get the other updates out first, and now I'm glad to report that they are out. So yes, basically report control will be continued tomorrow. That's it from an update point of view. So everybody, any questions? No, John, did you want to cover? Oh, I know Kevin's here, but hopefully Kevin's just said good morning. But that it was to do with the report control, but unfortunately we're not going to be in a position to cover that. So sorry about that, Kevin. I know, John, you had questions regarding HTTP. Is that correct?
Yeah. I couldn't figure out how to post stuff.
Okay, let's open up their examples, and I'll take some of the approaches I've used. So let's bring in. Just going to open this here now. Okay, so the HTTP class. Now you can see here actually you have got HTTP request and HTTP response. So what you can actually do is build an actual request object. Just trying to think which example. Just let me grab my notes back here and find out in which one, because I actually do this in some of mine. I build up a request, I build up the response, or another thing which I do quite often is, let's just open up one of the other classes. I'll bring it across here, and that will be could be anything. Let's use the Google one for now. In the request, not no body, we want the one. That's not the one I was thinking of. Yeah, okay, it must be the SMS. I thought it was that one, to be fair. What I will do quite often is I'll have a couple of string builder objects. One will be a request and one will be a response. I'll clear them, and then I'll actually build what I need in those. So, for example, that's a bad example actually. That's a better example. I'll build my content that I actually need. So you can see here that I'll clear them. Then I'll start building them. So I'll append what I need into the particular JSON object, which I've got here initialized. Emit the JSON into the request object, and then on the post, you pass it basically two objects, a string builder request and a string builder response, allowing you to get to all different attributes of both the request and the response. Does that make sense? Do you have an example? Yeah, sorry.
Okay, go back to the left a little bit. I just want to see what you're... Okay, so so you're using REST instead of the HTTP.
That's the REST. I mean, let's cover their example. Just trying to find my browser. So you've got the HTTP request now. Again, let me just do a quick search in mine, because again, I've used this as well, where you prepare it. And just trying to think where it is. Basically, you use the best vehicle to accomplish what you're after. HTTP, I can see here. Oh, crikey, yep. So here, if you want to post, now this is URL encoded, but you pass it the URL, and then you pass it the object which you would have initialized, which is your request object. And these are done, the HTTP request and response are done. So if we look at their help, we can see, let's go back on this one, this is HTTP request. So in this, you could build your header. You can add to it, you should be able to add a parameter, and basically all the things you would expect of a HTTP request. And then in your, let's open up another one here, and we'll have it in the normal HTTP. So let's put them in some kind of order. So there's a HTTP, that's the request, and then we'll have response. So you could prepare, actually it would be better that way, prepare a request. So set up the content type as you would, text, JSON, so on and so forth. Are you doing a post? Are you doing a get, a patch, a put, that kind of thing? All the usual things. You can go add query parameters to it. So add a header, should be add param, so on and so forth. Basically building up the request as you want in one particular self-contained object. Then in here, I would expect it to be something along the lines of a put. And I'm just trying to think. Oh, they're the properties. Post binary, post JSON. I know you're using the post XML. Just wondering whether on there whether you could put, is there anything in there for XML? No.
There's a post XML, but I think that's.
But there is a load body from String Builder. Now you could, I know it's a long convoluted way, you could, you could use the XML class and emit it out to a String Builder object. So for example, let's go to XML, and I'm sure there is. God, I've only just done this and all this last week. Get XML, load String Builder. Okay, now that's kind of going a long way around the houses. We want to get the XML into the body. Just have a look at what options you've got. Load from String Builder. So I think your String Builder might be a better vehicle for it. Which is what I do with my request and response. I always have a couple of String Builder options open to me. there's definitely a thing on here where you can put XML straight to it. You could use it, I suppose. You could do the. No, hang on. You could just use your XML class and just do get XML and put it as the content. So load body from string, and the body would be ckxml.getXML.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if you'd have to specify that or just leave it blank. I'm not sure if you leave it blank whether the class puts something in for you. Can't remember, to be honest. But yeah, so basically you could load it. So you could do load the XML content from there. You'd have your your type, as we saw earlier, content type. You set that as XML. Then you would do your post. I think I'd just do post URL encoded. Pass it the object. So of that, it would be whatever your chillcat object is, HTTP request object is. So chances are it'd be CK HTTP request dot get object, and it would return you the actual response, of which you'd be able to then go and call the methods of that response.
So how does that return it?
That returns it as an actual object itself. So now, I mean, you could use a normal OCX direct value, or you could use the OCX direct command, or now, I mean, we can try one of these. Have you got a URL we want to go and try?
Yeah, I sent you the short example where it's just API call.
Right, 1 second.
Still there.
That's still on the thing. Yep.
Yeah, it's got a password in there, but it's not it doesn't matter. I'll change it.
Okay, just.
Let's see if I can find it here.
Just scrolling up and trying to find it myself. Did you do? Oh no, you didn't. You did the post. Yeah, you ended up using the other instead. I've got the bit of XML. Just trying to find the actual post.
Okay, I found it. I can repost it.
Yes,
I just did a
please.
search for HTTP. And it came up.
For some reason, I need to switch to the normal Skype because it's just it's switched to the new Windows 10 Skype app, and I'm not really getting on with it.
Okay, yeah, there it is there.
All right, yep, got that. And that is just what content you post against it. Is that it above it? Yeah, sorry, right, let me copy that.
Yeah, the content's above it, and then where I'm posting it is the last thing.
Cool. Okay. So let me just bring that over here.
So it's like a soap packet too.
Yeah.
Just
Posted to ends in index. Right. Okay. So let's just have a take a look on here. Not that one. For temporarily, because it's only a side copy. I'm going to use the HTTP object, correct?
yeah.
Good to try and find my example as well, because I know I've done this. That's going to be as good as any. just bear with us 1 second and just let me see if I've got my example somewhere, because I'm sure, definitely sure we've done this. Yeah, it was in an old, it was Google Documents I was using it in, but it was still the post URL encoded, which I would do. And I prepared the request object, so I'm just doing this, yeah, add the header, add a param. It's everything as I just said a second ago, to be fair. Request, yep, do that, get the param. Interesting, we were doing load body from string, and when we were loading it in, just going to see UTF-8, and that the body, the content was Atom application Atom XML. Okay, let's take a look at your example. So our post, rough and ready now. Let's just give it so we can get to the base class. Okay. We'll call it John, so we know. And it's just, there's no connection, it's just everything's inside of the one particular thing. I'll tell you what I will do. Just hide your password, because I can see you've got something there. Okay, username and key. So I'm just going to create two variables, but I'm going to put them off screen while I create them with predefined values. That's okay with yourself?
Yes.
And it just save you having to change them and so on. Okay, sorry about that. Just wanted to do that off screen, so okay. So, looking at our old example, we've got a variable to say what content. Yeah, that's good. Now you've got some content here, but I'm just going to easiest way of doing this, right? Okay, that's yours, is it not?
Yeah.
Oops. Did I miss something off there? I thought I did. Okay, that's a rough and ready way. We could have used our XML class, really, to build us that. But if you say that content works, have you tried these in like Postman and so on and so forth?
I just tried it right now. I've got it in my own program, so that's
okay.
So it'll give you a response back.
Okay, so we've got that. So first thing we've done is create that. Now on our CK HTTP request, I'm going to remove all headers. I mean, you shouldn't have anything in it. Okay. Let me open up the class on the other screen. So I'm just doing a bit of thing. I don't want to bring this into view because I've got your password in it. So
it's okay if it gets shown.
We should try and not do so. Okay, but yeah, we'll set that property to nothing. Okay, so that'll wipe the all the header, if you will. Okay. So now, and I'm sure I've got remove all params. What's the content type on it?
I don't know. Whatever the default is, I guess. Text. Usually say application.
XML.
Yeah, try that.
Yep. Okay. So we'll set that, and then do you have any authorization? I don't know if you do on that.
It's just right there in the username. That's the entire thing right there that gets sent over.
Okay. So we're going to do a load from string. It's content, and I'm not sure, so we'll just do UTF-8. Okay, so that's that created. Now I just want to have a look at our post URL. Yep, and that's going to give us. So what I hope to do on that. Okay, let's just message out. We expect to get a handle back from just the HTTP class. Post URL encoded, and you give me the URL you're posting against.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it? Is that the URL?
That's it.
Okay, and we should be posting the content. So I'm just gonna, the object which we've created. So it would be our CK HTTP request dot get object. Now I expect to get a response handle back from that. If I've typed it right, which I haven't evidently. I missed a bracket or something as simple as that. No, yeah, I missed a bracket off for the message. Okay, so that's my handle I would expect to get back. Can I just try that? I'm going to try that same thing in Postman, just so I can know kind of what I expect. It's going to have a username, so I'm going to put it on the second monitor. Sorry for everybody watching, but I don't want to divulge keys and so on, as you can imagine. Don't know if anyone ever uses Postman, but it's my default for as a starting point. It's pretty good. Okay, so let's have another one here. Go against that URL. Let's just have a look, and I'll show you the type of thing which we expect to get back. Okay, so that's just trying it. I'm getting an access denied on that. Is that correct? Oh, no, it's not the thing you sent me. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Of course, I copied and pasted the actual thing. Right, 1 second. That's with your key in it now. And a straightforward post gives me back login return with a string. Sound about correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's have a look from that, if that's what we're getting from this, if you will. What's going to be our easiest way here? So back to the help now. So we're looking at what I want to do is have a look at the response. So we've got the response object. We're getting an handle from it. I suppose just body would do, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Not sure this will work. Okay. I think it's because let's try body string rather than body, because the other one is basically what do you call it? A variant. So let's have a look at the body string instead. Oh, sorry. So I've been working on that all the time.
Full memory.
Okay.
Maybe something.
Invalid XML.
XML. Oh, I didn't like that.
Wonder why I didn't like the XML.
I don't know. Got a response though. That's good.
Should we try and build that XML ourselves through the string? Might be better. Let's have a look at your XML and we use it through the XML class.
It could be the encoding too, right? I mean, that could.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Going back to our help then. Let's start a We've got our post URL encoded. You see, it makes sense. You're creating an XML structure to build it in here, and then to get it out to what you need to get it out to. That would be my approach to it. Okay. Oh, it will put it into a string builder. It's get XML string builder. That will put it into a string builder object for you. Okay. And your string builder, the other one wants to go into a request, doesn't it? So in your request, yeah, you could do load from string builder. So we're using a few vehicles along the way, but let's see if we try that instead. But that's why you have all the base classes, and this is what the task classes does. It makes use of so many of these and puts them all together for you. So you're going to use a string builder. In fact, technically we could call it a string builder request, but we'll just call it string builder, and the other thing was the XML. So I suppose the first thing would be XML dot set tag. Soap envelope. As soon as I see this working in a particular fashion that I think it's right, then we will. That's so cool on body. Let's just have a look if we're on the right track. I'm sure we are. Yeah, soap envelope. Yeah, no, actually it's not. Okay, no, it's not that. No, I was going to put XX before rather than do your particular keys and so on, okay?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And we've got to put attributes on there as well. Do you know if it needs the attributes?
On the soap part of it?
So colon body, type, yeah, login, that looks good. Username. No, USSD string. I think it'll know it's a string. Okay, that'll give you that's the envelope that you're after. Without all the attributes and so on and so forth. So I'll take that message out because I'm now going to replace that with actually I need to do a clip and just do user. LV key, that'll give us our envelope. Sorry, our thing. Then we're going to do CK XML get into a string builder, and it will be our string builder.get object. Okay. And then last but not least, going back to our request, we've got load from, we don't want loads from string, we'll try load from SB. Yeah. Which would be our, again, our CK string builder.get object. And you still put the character on the end.
Yeah.
Wrong version.
That might be some of those attributes.
Okay. But at least that's better. It's better than what we're getting before. So, where's your attributes? Your attributes just look kind of normal, you know, John.
Regular soap stuff, yeah.
Oh yeah, because we've got them on here, but I'm not seeing anything. Oh,
There's that, yeah, that stuff at the end.
yeah. Okay, so let me just. We want to add. Get me the XML. Add attribute. So it's going to want a string. Soap envelope. I'm missing something here. I'm sure I am. We can add an attribute, but we're not going to. We're not. Okay. While we're just building it, I'll just replace these with. Oh, turn the message off. Right, I suppose we need to put all the rest on.
It's still giving error, didn't it? Well, looks like you're very keyboard oriented there, Andy.
Yes. Okay, that should technically give you what you had on the other.
The same thing.
Let's take a look. I think let's have a look at that. Hopefully it's going to say about bad security. Body must be present in a soap envelope. I thought hang on, show it again. I thought the body was. Soap body. Soap body. Soap colon envelope. Oh, hang on.
Something doesn't look right up there.
XSD.
It's like it's repeating.
Yeah, I was just going to say, have I didn't think I had, but make it different. But okay. I have to dig out one of their examples in a minute. Okay, that.
It's better.
Soap body, that's better. I might repeat it because I run it a second time.
Oh, that's
Never cleared it, yeah.
right.
But I'm looking at yours, and yeah, version 1, UTF-8, and that's soap all the way down to the end. Soap body. You've got. I mean, you say it's a string, but I really don't think that'd cause it. Unless it does want those XSDs on the username. Can't see why it would.
Oh, the little prefixes.
XSI type, XSD string, both. But let's try it with your actual password. I very much doubt it would make a difference, but we'll try. Put the message out.
Uncomment the message too.
I'm going to quick look. I'm on at the moment. I am just in your post, and I'm just taking off the X to see if it wants, if it's the actual attributes on the username and key. So I'll take them. Do that post. No, that still returns you. So what I'm not understanding is our post is the same as yours.
So in Postman, you're getting a response, right?
Yeah. That's the thing. And
Right here.
okay. Let's go back to our HTTP. What's the we send it as a content type application XML.
Yeah, I don't. I never set that. You just leave it out, and see what it does.
Well, the other thing I just noticed in the other is it's doing application.
Okay.
Just checking something. Won't be a second. Somebody else has reported that on the Chillcat, but as he said, it's up to you to format your own content, which is fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see how it's not seeing the soap body there.
No, same here. And even going back to my old examples. Org 2003-05 soap envelope.
Wait a minute. No.
Yep.
Let's go back to the code, I think. Okay, so we're building it in XML up here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you look down here at load body, well, what are you doing here? Get XML SB. What's that doing?
So when we're looking at it,
you're
there.
sending the right thing over. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm transferring it from the XML to the string builder object.
Okay, so that's moving it into string builder. Okay, and at the bottom we use string builder.
I'm saying that. Let's just make sure that is the right way. Yeah, because the get XML outputs it. Get out XML emits the XML to a string builder object, appends to the existing contents of string builder. Okay. Well, string builder shouldn't really have anything on it, but I will clear it just to be on the safe side.
And then you're loading the body from okay.
Okay, so that clears it. Explain why it's doubling up that second time. So that clear it. I mean, if we wanted to emit out the string builder there, just to check what we are sending it. Okay.
Okay.
So at that point, we could just message out the zk string builder dot get a string. Yep. And that should just basically.
Yeah, okay.
But you're right. Let's just check we are actually passing it something. Okay. So yeah, that's what it's got. Checking that against yours, what you sent us, and against, to be fair, against the other thing as well. Oh, hang on. Is that the return? Oh, that's fine. Yeah, soap colon body. Oh my days! It's not case sensitive, is it? Like capital B, because you are sending it a capital B for body.
One never knows. It probably is.
Right, okay. Let's have a look. Where we're looking, we're building it up here. Soap.
Yeah.
Right. Soap body. Okay.
Yep.
And the envelope. Access denied. It's case sensitive. All right. Okay.
Case sensitive. Nice going. Nice, good spotting that one.
But, I will take the message out because obviously that's got your thing, and we'll have a quick recap of this in a minute. So probably a very boring one for anybody here, but Roberto's raised a couple of things. Oh yeah, he was asking. He must have joined when we was thinking about it because he said that everything's very quiet. Okay, so what?
Wait a minute, I thought we already had this figured out.
Oh, I don't know. It's okay. I could put your thingy back in again, but
oh, yeah. There we go.
Okay. So from this, we should get hopefully a string after all that, and we'll have a quick recap. There's your string. Yes, login string.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, so let's do a tidy up and a recap.
Good job. Yes.
Let's get rid of that. It was interesting that we got a completely different error when we did it, tried building it ourselves. So it was worth us using the new Chillcat XML class. I think so. Oops. Okay, so we should really do it by the book. What you should always do is XML clear content. So we'll clear the XML object, set a tab, tag, and then add the attributes to it. Still not sure whether they're actually needed, if truth be known, but
I know that last one definitely is needed because that's the prefix of the
right, okay.
calls.
Then we set the child content. So we basically built a SOAP envelope. We clear out the content of a string builder class, and we emit basically the XML into the string builder. And whenever you're passing the objects around, you use the get object. If you wanted to message out just to check where you're up to or set the clipboard, you would just do the class dot get a string, and that would return you the string version of what you've just loaded. Then we basically the request. Now, I think what I need to do is add that as a method. So I'll look at adding that, but basically that is clear the headers, clear all the parameters. We set a new content type, so we would set in a set property for that, and then we're loading into the request object from the string builder object using that encoding. And then last but not least, we're actually doing two things. We are posting, so we're doing the HTTP post URL encoded against that URL with the object which we've just prepared. It will return your handle to a response. Now I can use the normal HTTP command there,
right.
And what probably could have done there is, could I have done get property? Yeah, I should imagine I could have actually used just get property there, because I'm using a raw get property, so it's literally that dot and the body string.
Right.
So let's just check if that still works. And it does. So there's your string.
Excellent.
Okay. Wow. Any questions on that?
Copy and paste that into Skype for me. Yeah, that would be good. That would work.
Obviously, you need to tick the XML object, the string builder object, the HTTP request object. Technically, you don't need the response object, because the response. Well, I wonder. So just try one last thing. No. You wouldn't. You don't need the response object in that. The other thing which I do like, and let's say we use REST, and this is the difference between the two. On that post URL encoded, so we are on the HTTP. Okay, you're passing it the request, and it's returning you the object, the response. If we looked at REST. The thing I do like about this, and I do find it very easy, is you have one which is nobody string builder, which takes basically, where are we? Takes that and puts you the response. There's no request body going out because it's the nobody. But if you did the full request string builder, then you would pass it you'd pass it a prepared string builder request and a prepared string builder response. An empty string builder response, and then you're just using the straight string builder to go and get, basically prepare it all in the first place and get the body back in the, afterwards. I bet we could actually do that same example using the REST.
That might be easier, huh?
Kind of think so. It'd be what time. If no one else asks any questions, I think we're just going to duplicate that and try it with the REST. So let's give you that code. HTTP. So you've got that code. Okay, John?
Okay.
So now.
Well, it says HTTP. Oh, there it is. It came through. Okay. Let's just hang up for a minute.
So now
Excellent.
We're going to turn on the REST. This is my preferred way if it does it. It could even be worth me in the HTTP building another, basically a post which returns you the response in an object. So it might even be worth me, preparing it up. So let's have that. Let's have that, and let's have REST. Oh, not that. So we're still going to build this as required. We're still going to now this time we will have our string HTTP. String builder. Request clear content, and just for good measure, I always do the response as well. We'll put that straight into our normal request. REST clear all headers, CK REST clear all params, query params, CK REST set content. No, so it's going to be set property. Let's just make sure we have got that on the REST. Wait a second. No, it won't be that. It'd just be add header content type so it'd be full request string builder. So we're going to do a post. We're going to go against your particular path. Let's go and pinch that. And then it's going to be the and that full request, just for good measure, does actually return you, I think if memory serves, let's just bring this in, it returns you the status code. Oh no, it's just a true or false. Okay. No, actually, it'd be along the lines of if that equals true, then we'll message out the dot get as string.
Message is a typo.
Oh, thank you. Let's just try that, and then we'll recap if it does. What have I missed? Calling one as another emit.
Message is a typo.
No issue. Oh, sorry, got you. I also missed a ping off the end as well. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, that should have been good. Get object as well. Bit trigger happy on that. Okay, so clear those. Let's get the XML content into the request object, clear the headers of the REST, clear the query params, add a header to it, and then do a full request string builder, passing a post to that URL of that request, put the answer in that response.
Yeah, I kind of like that better if it works.
No. Evidently it didn't. Why? Okay. Okay. Let's have a look at what it did say then, because evidently it weren't true. 13. What? Okay, I'm just having a look at what number 13 is. Response status code 13. Never even heard of one. That can't be right. The lowest I've ever seen is 100. I wonder if there's no connection. Right, okay. No, sorry, I forgot one particular thing with REST. Yeah. What you're posting here, Sir John, is that just a HTTP or HTTPS?
I think it's just a HTTP. Maybe.
Okay, I'm still gonna play about with that one, but I do need to finish it on time tonight. But basically, I think it's more along the lines of you have to do your connection with it. Normally open a socket as well to keep it alive if you're going to do a lot of comms to it, and then basically go with that.
John had a question on NBits. I'm going to open his mic for you.
Did it? Oh, sorry, I didn't see that.
Yes, hi John. Hi Andy.
Hi, sorry, I didn't see the question. How are you doing?
That's okay. No, I was just on NBit's website, and I downloaded his demo, and I noticed that the delete key now works on here on the demo example, It didn't used to, from what I remember. So I looked at the OCX on the Mbits, and I noticed that it was a newer one than the one that I have.
What version is that then? No, I don't.
Okay, the OCX that the demo site is using, the demo download is using, is it's dated 3/21/2012 version. Let me go to the download page. It actually tells you what version it is. Just like, let me see. So I was wondering if maybe we are using. I know that I'm using an older one that's dated, I think, 2011. So I was wondering if you, like we're using the latest one or.
Well, I was using 3.2.2, which is the last one he gave me, to be fair.
Right. Okay. Let me
So
see.
he has got a new thing coming out, but he hasn't given me any deadline, any basically time of when that's happening.
I see. Because my main complaint, I guess, is.
Oh no, it's 3.2.3. Yeah, it's later.
Oh, it is later. Yeah, that's what. So yeah, I noticed that it is working now. So he must have fixed that issue. So if I download the OCX that he has from the demo or copy it to my working directory, will it just work, or do I need to unregister the old one and register the new one?
You might need a template update because you specify the version on the global extension.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so that's not a problem. I'll do that in the morning for you.
Great, thank you. That would be great, because that's really the only issue with it that I could complain about. But everything else is working great because it's just such a nice small footprint,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Agreed.
Easy to distribute.
So, right, I've got a thing of that. I will do that in the morning and get another update out.
Great, thank you.
So
thank you. And then I was kind of late today. So were there any updates on the report control and what we were working on as far as?
Not on the report control. Sorry, not yet. There was an update. Version 1.05 of the Chillcat wrapper is out, and that's got a lot of new toys in it. What we've been talking about today, but yeah, a lot of new stuff in the Chillcat, but not on the report control yet.
No problem. And then I know John is busy with all this stuff, but are you uploading any of the recordings from these webinars, or?
Yeah, I think I'm on it. Well, we put them on the YouTube channel.
Oh, on the YouTube channel. Okay, I'll look for it there.
Yeah, I think probably only about 2 weeks behind, but yeah, basically on the YouTube channel.
Oh, cool. Because sometimes it's during working hours here. I have to answer calls or get sidetracked, and I can't really pay attention. So that I'm going to watch those. Okay, sounds good.
Today might have been a little boring if you're not into comms, but if you're into comms, hopefully you liked it.
Oh yeah, I have to. Yeah, I'm sure I will have to learn all of these. Yeah, so definitely interested. Thank you.
No problem. And I do have to go very soon, but Roberto's got one question. Roberto.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
It's not a Noyantis or Chillcat stuff, but I did a class. This is my first class actually, and I've got like a group of a record group.
Yep.
And whenever I try to do the code completion on it, it'll read the first. I have a type variable with a whole bunch of in the group, and then in the group it has a whole bunch of variables. When I try to do the dot and any of the variables, it doesn't do anything. So I'm wondering if there's a trick.
Let me. You've got me. Okay, just 1 second.
Can I share my screen?
Well, I'm going to try it just off mine first, because I've got our common group. All of our things are built off common. So if I was to do, say, that dot, now one of our things is help buttons dot. So it does do it. Yeah, no, I don't do anything for that, I'll be honest with you.
And I don't know if it's the way I have my variable declared.
For the groups, I would just normally just define them not necessarily a type structure. They can be, but if it's a type structure, obviously you wouldn't expect that to be code completion. But then you're going to use that type structure somewhere in here, aren't you? So
Right, and then I have a like let's say in my class I have a group type, and then declared in my ink. I've got all my procedures and methods, and then I have in my ink I have declared that group. Maybe I can show you.
Yeah, okay.
If you can. Maybe John or you have a better idea of how to get that going, because I'd really like to get it going. I can't figure it out. I don't know what screen I'm looking at.
Okay, I'm looking at
clear screen.
Clear screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in my ink, see, I have my groups declared here as a type, and then in my class, I'm using. I created a. Here's my class. Here it is. The class. That's not it. Here. See how I created my like here, like a deck group over the P groups here. And so it should grab that. But whenever I do something in there, like it'll grab percentiles. See how it does it? But the moment I put a dot, it doesn't grab all the fields that are in the group. If I do like a...
Okay, you know where you've got group instead of like? Okay. Percentiles.
Oh, here?
Yeah. Okay, just comment that. And just do it as group with the name of your group.
Call it percentiles, same?
Yep. Then group.
Group.
Yeah, and what group is it like? DEG? Yep.
Like that?
Yeah, with an end. You need an end.
Oh, okay. End. Like that?
Yeah, although you want to bring your end across under your group, but okay. Save that and go out and go back in.
Just press,
Yeah, space that.
Save it, right?
Yeah, space that.
Space.
Press return at the end of end. It should format it.
It
The end
doesn't.
of the word end.
So you want this like that, spaced out?
Well, I normally bring it under the end.
Word group.
Yeah, under the group.
Yeah. Underneath the word group. Just tab.
Oh, you're OCD, right? Okay, I see.
Okay. So save.
I mean, it works the same.
It works the same.
Okay.
Save that. Maybe go out and go back into that.
So
I don't
close
think
this
you
one
need
out.
I don't.
You don't trust it. I don't think you need to do that.
And so here, still doesn't do it.
I'm not sure that's in the right place. In the ink, I don't think it. If you're going to use it locally like that, I think it needs to be at the top of the CLW, not in the
Well,
ink.
in the ink, it's including that ink here. So I don't know. So you're saying instead of declaring it in the ink file, declare it in the CLW?
Yeah, like under the map.
Oh, I define mine in the ink.
Yeah, I've seen all yours in it, and I'm like, why doesn't it work for me?
Well, it's because usually under the module that I...
Under the map here, like that?
Yeah, not in the map.
Oh, after the end?
After the end, yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
Let's say that's there.
Good.
And, oh, we should save it, right? And then...
You don't have to. Nope. Why not? Why is this not working, Andy?
I don't know. I'll be honest. For when
Is
I'm
it
doing my
because
classes,
you
I'm using
type or
Take the word type out.
like that?
Yeah, I don't think you.
Okay, I'll take him out of there. I don't know if it's going to compile after that, but
Try it. Nope.
I'm sorry.
Press,
No.
press
Other
control.
things it
Press
does.
control space. Press control space and see if it refreshes it.
control space.
Yeah. Oh, put the push period
Period.
and press control space.
Control space.
Nope, still not doing it.
Oops. Now I lost my place. Where is it?
I don't know.
Okay. So I don't know. I wish it would put it because otherwise, I'm doing variables like that.
I don't see why it's not doing it.
I do code like this, percentiles, so it should find it. It finds it. I mean, it works. It doesn't.
Okay, dude. No, that's not right either.
See, these work. No, they don't now.
They broke everything. You can put it back to where it was if you want to.
That one works. See, deck record. That one will show me all the fields in there. But I don't know. I wish it worked. I'm doing something it doesn't like.
Should work.
Group. Did I do something wrong here? Yeah. Oh, this was this one. That one doesn't work either. No. See, that one doesn't work either. The one with the deck record. But if I do deck record or do the group, see how that one works, okay?
It's like it's not seeing it belonging to, which is...
Yeah. But the other one, it doesn't work. Like
Okay.
the percentiles, that one doesn't work.
Okay, just a couple of lines up. Yeah. Just, after the end.
Okay.
Define a new group. Call it NYS.
It's because of that, right?
Yeah. No.
Not named.
Okay.
Okay.
Group and no. Just group. Get rid of that. Yep. Return. And let's have A1 as a byte and A2 as a byte, and then end.
Let me add something else like it. Okay. End. Okay.
Okay. Now let's see if NYS. Let's see if it works for that. Does it see that in the scope?
Let me fix your OCD, okay? Okay.
Thank you.
Gotta do it right.
Okay, now just try that after the code and let's see if it sees that. No. Then nothing you're going to do on the other thing is going to make any difference because that's pretty straightforward there. It should see that.
Yeah. Maybe I should open it, close it again.
Bias. Maybe.
So, or maybe because it's inside the. No, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't show them. Control
Doesn't seem
space.
right, Andy.
Sorry?
So it doesn't seem right, does it?
It's not. Nothing's cached in no.
Maybe I need to
don't do
compile
the
it or
editing.
something, or what?
No, I wasn't
Well,
going to say that. I was thinking about closing Clary and whether anything's cached from that point of view.
Maybe.
Okay.
I really am going to have to go in a minute. I've got someone coming to my house at 6 o'clock, and I'm not there.
Okay. Clarion. Oh. And
It's working on my machine. I
really?
just did the same thing. I just made a group, and I just and the code
But
completion
inside
worked okay.
a procedure?
I just did Andy's test basically.
Uh-huh.
It
And why
did work.
it doesn't do it. Maybe I have something set up wrong in my,
I was gonna say, it's
my
gonna be.
options.
Mind you, the other completion's working though.
I know. Code generation, Clarion, code completion. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Where is that class? Is that local to your app, or is it in the lib source?
This class is local to this file.
Scroll up a little bit there. Hold on right there.
Listen, unfortunately, I'm going to have to back out because I do need to be somewhere at 6 p.m. So sorry about that.
I can close the webinar, Andy, if you want. Or you can stop the recording.
I was going to say, I'll stop the recording now and then, because then I've got it for the thingy. So let me get to the control on mine. Okay, so for everybody else, thank you very much for attending, and I shall see you next week.